Hello, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. I found this book called How to Fix Anything, and I thought it might be fun to just sort of look through it a little bit. I opened it up and kind of just flipped through, and I thought maybe what we could do is look at there are some questions and answers. Maybe that'd be a good way to do it because otherwise there's just like too much information. This is about how to take out your old grout and put new grout in. I might actually do that. I'd like to do it with the floor in one of my bathrooms, I think. A running toilet. This is interesting. I saw this. They put vinegar in this bag and then zip tied it onto the shower head to get rid of any mineralization on there. I would wonder if vinegar would be a little harsh on because usually these are like plastic, but maybe not. It's worth a shot. I may try that. I don't know. And then this was stupid because it says a dripping faucet. So I was like, cool. How do you fix a dripping faucet? Well, this says when the bathroom faucet springs a leak and it's going to be a few days before you have time to fix it, the constant dripping can keep you up at night. Give yourself a reprieve by tying a length of string just under the aerator long enough to rest to the basin. Water runs down the string and you get peace and quiet. That's not fixing your faucet. And then nowhere in here does it tell you how to fix the faucet. So I was like, okay. So these are like the questions and answers I was thinking. Ask Roy. So this person says, I hate caulking. Maybe it's me, but I've tried caulking smooth tools but I've tried caulk smoothing tools and masking tape, and it still comes out sort of sloppy and half-baked. Even my kids commented on the sink I caulked. There has to be a better way. Help me. Well, send the kids to military school. No, I'm just kidding. So he basically says, clean caulking comes down to three things: the position of your caulk gun, the speed at which you move it, and the opening that you cut in the end of the tube. So you have to have a perfectly cut opening, go kind of mid-speed, I believe, and have it at that angle. But the other thing is to have a really good tool, because they make these caulk guns that are cheap where you kind of push it, but these ones where you can control it, that's better. They say if the bead of caulk's too small, you can always cut a bit more off the nozzle tip. You want to put it at a 45-degree angle. So anyway, okay. Clog drain. I got to do this. A broken pop-up stopper. I have a broken one. You know what? I was going to fix it about, 2 years ago. And then I started this channel. And it's just taken up time. And I kind of haven't been doing all my home repairs. I may have to take a break just to do home repairs. This one says, we have a long ranch house and it takes forever to get warm water to the farthest bathroom. Is there anything we can do? I kind of have this problem. I have a sink, my kitchen sink. I have to run the hot forever to get it hot forever. And he says you need a hot water recirculation system. Instead of water moving in only one direction from the water heater to the bathroom, it also moves cooled water from the bathroom to the water heater, making room for new hot water to take its place. Wow. I don't know about that. I'll just wait. Our garbage disposal stinks. I've tried quite a few cleaning products, but nothing works. try my homemade remedy. There was an onion odor emanating from the disposal in my home, so I cut a lemon into 8 wedges and put them into the appliance. I then turned on the water and let the disposal grind up the lemons. I was pleasantly surprised when this removed the odor. If this technique doesn't work, try Disposer Care, a blue powder that you pour down the drain. My husband kind of told me not to put lemons in anymore because he said they weren't grinding up right or something, and he was pulling them out. I don't know. Maybe that was our old disposal. I don't remember. But I kind of haven't put lemons down there since. Because I've heard that too. And I've heard like coffee grounds or something to clean. I don't think that's good either. I don't know. People say all kinds of things. All the different types of screws. I did a video where wait, did I do one looking at screws? I was going to do one looking at screws. I don't know if I did. But I've done some tools anyway. Fixing problem drawers. Ugh, I hate a problem drawer. I tell you what, if you have drawers that hit, they go bam, there are these little things you put right here. They're just softeners. And it makes your drawer go slow and nice, like expensive drawers. And everybody goes, oh, that's nice. And it's like costs nothing to do. Nothing. Peeling laminate cabinet doors. I have a peeling laminate kitchen counter. I keep meaning to replace my kitchen counters. It's expensive, and it's like, if you're going to spend that kind of money, you want to make sure you have exactly what you want. And I keep going, do I want quartz? Do I want white? Do I want gray? What do I want? Holes and drywall. That's what I'm going to have to do in my, I showed you guys pictures of my son's room and how one of my sons put giant holes all over. I got to do that. Which isn't that big of a deal, but all right, what's this one? The crack in our upstairs hallway comes back no matter how many times I patch it. What's the right fix? Well, it sounds like your house is expanding and like that, Hopefully that's all it is. Seasonal cracks in drywall and plaster are tough to repair. As they open and close, one of two things happens. The surface around the crack crushes and grinds the patch material, or it pulls it apart, ripping the material away from the wall and ceiling surface. You need a super flexible material and one that can bridge a wide gap. I use DAP Elasto Patch with good results. Interesting. These are all questions. The ceiling fan in my master bedroom is awfully wobbly. It's not level. How can I make it true? Assuming the fan was properly installed, it could be out of balance. This can be corrected with a fan blade balancing kit sold at a home center. They cost about $5. Yeah. More ominously, the fan may have been hung in an electrical box that wasn't rated to support it. Oh gosh, hope not. Fillers, squeaky wood floors, yeah. What did that say? Indentation in carpet. Yeah, we've all had that. These days they put an ice cube, but it never really works. You can often remove carpet indentations caused by furniture with a steam iron. Okay. Fixing door problems. Yeah. We just did this with our front hall door. It had, I don't know why, the house is old. And all of a sudden it started to, like, you'd have to shove it closed. And it's a interior hallway door. So we, planed it. So it fits now. Squeaky hinges. Remove one of the hinge pins with a hammer and a small screwdriver or nail set, then buff it smooth with 120 grit sandpaper. Be sure to sand off all the rust, dried paint, and caked on gunk. Next, spray the pin with a light coating of silicone lubricant. Tap the newly buffed pin back into place and repeat for remaining hinge pins. Yep. Furniture fixes. Use an iron to fix dented wood. Interesting. Look at this. Nuts. Touch up furniture. Nicks and scratches on wood furniture with a dark finish can be easily concealed. Rub the meat of an unsalted pecan or walnut on the damaged area. The nut's oils will stain the wood. Cool. Sagging shelves. Ugh, I hate sagging shelves. This is like a pet peeve. When I go to somebody's house and they have a shelf like that, I'm like, oh, you gotta fix that. So they show just putting like a piece of wood in the middle to hold it up. But if you have a lot of books and your shelves are sagging, take care of that. Dead outlet. Wobbly furniture, and they show a post-it notes under there. When balancing wobbly table or chair, grab a pad of post-it notes. The ubiquitous office product is an ideal shim. It can be fine-tuned by removing individual notes, and paper won't scratch even the softest wood flooring. That's just to get a measurement for it, I guess. I hope. Wood chisels. Excuse me. Every time I tighten or re-drive the mounting screws on our handrail, it always comes loose again. What am I doing wrong? Let me think about that. It sounds like they need a nut in there or something. Once a part works loose, creating an airspace between it and the mounting surface, the looseness acts as force multiplier. You tighten it, and it loosens even more. The cycle repeats. The first thing you do in your repair is ensure that the mounting screws for the brackets are hitting solid lumber. Yeah. Make a test run. Try using a longer screw. You may be tempted to try to fix the stripped out hole by inserting a piece of copper wire or a glue-covered golf tee. I've never heard of that. But not here. You need to reach solid lumber. If that doesn't work, you'll need a thicker or larger mounting bracket. Oh, so they're saying it's actually, every time I tighten or redrive the mounting screws on the handrail, the mounting screws, so they're talking about the ones at the bottom. Okay. You might even sneak in one structural screw at each bracket location. Okay, I don't know. We accidentally sanded through the top layer of wood veneer on our coffee table. They thought it was solid wood. Is that what happened there? The simplest solution is to hide the damage with a pigmented finish. Whoops. Am I the only one who wastes all this time removing broken nails and stripped screws? You're not alone. Okay. The laws of extraction. Wobbly chairs. I hate a wobbly chair. So they put a screw in going kind of diagonally. It takes a stubby drill driver or a right angle attachment to install a pocket screw between a chair's parts. Okay. Gadgets, gadgets, gadgets. You take terrible photos. Get to know your camera. Blurry photos. Your hard drive crash. This is how to fix everything. Your laptop touchpad stopped working. Try dragging the corner of a note card around its edges. That should knock loose the crumbs and dust that are likely culprits. Interesting. I don't have a laptop. Scratched screen. What? There aren't a lot of good options, but there is one extreme choice: glass buffing. Oh, with a small drill attachment and a tub of cerium oxide compound, it is possible to grind scratches out of a screen. Wow. I'd be worried it would mess with the touch part, but I guess, I don't know. How old is this? When was this book published? Because now these screens, I feel like they... Maybe that works. I don't know. I don't recommend it. What? Where's the publication date on this thing? That's weird. Huh. I don't see one. You can't hear conversations on your phone. Dust and dirt can easily get trapped in the headphone jacks of many iPhones and laptop computers. Yeah, I cleaned mine pretty up. You crashed your drone. Basement mechanicals. That's a pretty vise. Look at the color. We've got threaded steel pipe in the basement that leaks. My husband has taken it apart, wrapped it with tape, and put it back together twice. It still leaks. Really? They put that waterproof tape stuff? When a threaded joint leaks, the natural response is to tighten it. Sometimes that stops drips, but if you over-tighten the joint, you could ruin the threaded parts and make the problem worse. Most likely, only one of the pipe fittings has stripped threads. To fix it, replace the pipe with bad fittings. There you go. Yeah, below grade mildew. So it's like below in the basement. Rooms on the lower floor can collect mildew, especially around the baseboards and occasionally on the walls. Washing with a bleach solution will slow down the growth, but it won't always stop it. You gotta get a dehumidifier, a good dehumidifier. What you really need is to control the dampness. When the dampness is a result of condensation of the warm, moist summer air, it can be controlled by a dehumidifier. Yeah. We ended up getting a pretty large dehumidifier in our basement, and it drains right into, there's some drains in my laundry room, and we just run it. I mean, it comes on and off depending on humidity, but it has made a world of difference because our house is like half up and then it's on a hill, so the basement's like underground, but you can walk out on the back. But it was so damp, like we had this kind of, I was like, gross. But when we bought the house, it had carpet. I ripped out all the carpet. I cleaned it all with bleach, and then got a big dehumidifier, and it's taking care of the problem. Anyway, how to restore old tools. This is what I need with those scissors I was working on yesterday. They removed the rust, polished the bare steel, applied a glossy enamel, and added a life-affirming new handle. Well, then it's like not a cool tool anymore. You took off all the mojo. Wait, what was this? What's this? This looks like a... Oh, no, I guess not. I thought it was like a guitar for a second. Crawl space is wet. This looks just like my mom's crawl space, and the people who built her house back, I don't know how many years ago, 30 years ago, they vented her dryer into this crawl space. Can you believe that? So this warm, moist air full of lint goes in here. Oh my God. So like mice are in there. Every time I go down there, I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. So I think she's having it redone now to fix that. Broken Christmas lights. Garage and driveway. Flat bike tire. I have to do this. I bought a new inner tube to fix my bike tire and I haven't done it yet. I thought I'd do it on a video, but I don't know. I'd have to take the whole tire off and bring it up here, or else bring you outside. I don't know. How good that'll be. Pooling in the driveway. That would be kind of bad because if it freezes, it'll crack. Slick garage floor, yeah. We did this. We put sand in the paint because our garage is kind of our studio, so I don't know if it's sand or something we bought. I guess it was sand. A gap has developed where the concrete walk leading to my front door meet the sidewalk. Concrete walk leading to my front door meets the sidewalk. Okay, I see what they're saying because they're two different kinds. What can I use to fill the gap? The joint where the two walks meet, known as an isolation joint, isolates the two concrete structures from one another and allows them to move independently without damaging each other. They're saying to put a piece of like foam in there so it's flexible. And then fill it with polyurethane self-leveling sealant. You think just dirt would work, but all right. Socket wrench set. What are we talking about? Loose seatbelt tensioner. I've worked on these before. Because sometimes you get it where it's like folded and it gets crammed up in there. You have to take them apart. Tapes. Leak in a radiator hose. Overheating engine. Yeah, I think I told you guys this in the one I did about car engine emergency lights. If you get an overheated engine or you see your thing going to red, turn your heater on full blast and it'll blow the air off it. Yeah. Broken rear defroster. Worn disc brakes. Oof. These kind of jobs, I can never do these kind of things because you have to undo things that are machine tightened, and a lot of times that's nearly impossible for me to do by myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Surface rust. Oh. Ugh. I got my son's car. When he bought it, there were these tiny little spots where the paint was missing. I said, go get some touch-up paint. Touch it up. Every time I've seen him over the past 6 years, I've gone, you should get some touch-up paint and touch it up. And then this year, they're like bigger. Like, I told you. I told you so. And he's like, it's no big deal. I'm like, when you have a hole in your car, you're going to change your tune. I'm like, do something. So now it's a bigger job. Kids, right? Kids. The rear view mirror fell off. Why? I've never heard of that. Cracked dashboard. Oh, I was thinking of windshield. I was like, wait, I think I tell us how to fix that. No. Dashboard. You know, it used to be you could call the windshield fixing people. I'd sing the song, but anyway, and they could come out and just drill like a little hole and fix a cracked windshield or whatever. But now all of the computer stuff like goes through your windshield. So it's way more complicated now, I think. How to bleed brakes. Wow. Okay. Driveway stains. Yeah, I have one of those. What are they saying? Huh. They say grind up a piece of drywall, pulverize a small piece with a hammer, then grind it up in your hands and sprinkle it over the stain. What? Let it stay in place overnight before rinsing it off. If the first application doesn't remove the whole stain, try it again. Some very old stains can take 3 or more applications. I've never heard that. I'm going to try it. I think I have some old drywall around. I'm going to try it. We'll report back. Dead horn. The guide to car wobbles. Uh-oh. Stuck wiper blade. I've never had that happen. Huh. Stuck ball joint. Yard. Dead spots in the lawn. Lawn pest. Or a dog peeing. Ivy shadows on brick. Banish weeds from your asparagus patch. Add salt. Asparagus is the only vegetable that can withstand it, so the weeds will die and your dinner won't. What? I have to tell my dad. He has asparagus patches. I don't know how many weeds he has in him, though. His asparagus just comes up like anywhere at once. It's kind of cool. Round nose shovel. Yeah, I just got myself a new one. Tree roots breaking up patio pavers. I actually built these around my house too, because like I said, our house is on a hill, and it had French drains, but I don't know. And replacing those would cost $1 million, so we dug it out and then put gravel-filled burns that look like pretty on either side, so the water goes out like that and around. Turned up shingles. Stained vinyl siding. Yeah. The 2 decorative posts on our front stoop are starting to rot. Are these easy to replace? Yeah. They are. Working in damaged cedar siding shingles. The mower won't start. Mower tune-up. Scrape the deck. Sharpen the blade, which I should do with mine. Check the plug. Service the air filter. Clean the flywheel. I have an electric mower now, and I love it. I mean, I have a small, not a huge lot to mow, but I love it. Every year, the stain on my deck peels off. What am I doing wrong? Oops. You need to do a professional grade wood stripper. Ugh, it's a pain in the butt. Weathered picnic table. Broken tent pole.